Hi there, just making sure folks can see me or hear me. Turning my video on now.
Appreciate it.
Mhm.
A little bit good at, but I'll feel it. I don't think it's just bylaws are always scary. I was in Caleb talk last week. He kind of, I talked to her. I don't. Yeah. Good. Get your package. I did not shoot my package.
Can I just test my volume? Can you guys hear me?
Hear you great.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay, we're going to meet in order Wednesday, October 15th, 7 p.m. All trustees are here. Bring us to order. Wednesday, October 15th, 7 p.m. All trustees. Manager and treasurer are present. Any additions or changes?
Yes, I have a couple. So I was looking over some past meetings, so one is just that's first thread, the backbone. And then minutes on website and photos.
Okay, then the pledge allegiance. The pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. States, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'm also adding executive session for employee review. Put you in, or you'll get you. Any other additions? Okay, looking for a motion to approve minutes. Trustee meeting September 8th, 2025. Go second. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes. Treasury report, road view.
Budget status report.
Last month I asked you to try to find us a few key things. Those are your deal.
I want to go line by line.
Yep.
Have sent a reminder notice. They're some of the prior contract. Complete. Just be receiving our state pilot money. And the work.
Did he stand out this month, Rosemary?
Oh. We're down almost $1 million, 400,000 of it was to Millbrook. And 90,000 from bond loan payments. And also paying reserve funds for the fire department.
And come out of where,
A little concerned with the federal shutdown. I'd like to credit $400,000.
and that's from what? It's for what reason? It's,
That, um, because the project was a $2 million project, so far we have spent 1.1 million. And currently I have 719,000 left of our funds for that project. That we should fall 400. That with no reimbursements from that,
Right.
because you don't know when.
USDA has gone to complete radio silence since the shutdown, so I'm assuming that they're shut down. So.
So $400,000 bond. And,
You know, don't take it.
right.
Just as a safety net,
Yeah.
right?
And when's the anticipation that loan coming due? For the payment coming that loan?
if you got the one there.
Maybe, well, as far as well.
Bars, so we're $400,000 short, when are we anticipating that money having to go out?
No, she's saying because of the shutdown.
Oh, I know.
And it's how long it'll take them to get going. If they're reimbursing.
I understand how, I'm saying, what's the bill due? That we're short that 400,000, when is the bill due that, or, next
I would say a couple months out.
couple months in, so getting it secured now. Okay,
So are you looking for a motion to have to approve for now, Rosemary?
Yeah.
You're looking for what again, 400,000?
make a motion, we authorize Rosemary to secure a $400,000 line of credit. Okay. Station of funds not being available when bills due.
Do we have a second? Second. Any further discussion? I'm assuming I'll need to come in and sign in.
Yeah.
That's on the last one.
Sure, I'll go forward it.
No, I did when it was. During flood,
Oh,
obviously, it was a fair, you just mentioned it.
It's actually just one question. Is you bank because they. I think we should have different banks, what the rates? Man, it wouldn't hurt just to ask.
Okay. So you're looking for. Okay.
You said.
Okay, I'll amend mine to not the Union Bank, but to
Lowest interest.
so three makes me enough. It may be so requirement.
Who's
Second.
Second.
No, BJ.
Oh.
So you get the amendment? Okay.
Any further discussion? Donna, is that good with you?
Yep.
All in favor?
some good news on the buyout program.
Mhm.
The state is having a grant program for 10 years on any property that a municipality buys. They will reimburse the municipal tax.
10.
For the first 5 years, it's 100%. The next 5 years, it's at 50%.
Is that apply, see if you get it, or is that a guarantee?
I think.
So they're saying instead of somebody taking a FEMA buyout, we.
No, that's
People buy up properties, the town's gonna own,
Yes, sir.
encouraging them. So we should be getting 100% of the municipal tax for that one.
What is it?
Yes.
Gonna get.
I'm not sure that all of them are gonna be in it, because you said one of them right now is in it. Are they all gonna automatically be in it, or do we have to have them apply for it, or does that work?
And I'm assuming the town is aware of this.
Yes. The only property now I think is what, Blackwood used to own on.
There's only one in that program, or there's only one buyout? One
One completed buyout.
One completed buyout. The other ones have got to be getting close, though, right?
Okay, anything else, Rosemary? That's nice when you come bearing good news. I'm not used to that.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody got anything for Rosemary before we move on?
All the little numbers. Remember that?
Looking pretty good, though, right?
Yeah, overall, yeah.
Okay, thank you, Rosemary. The local concerns meeting for the village sidewalk Wilson study. Yeah.
Okay, so we've got Jackie, Madison, and Sean from Stan Tech to kind of lead us through this. You folks are up?
Yeah, thanks, Eric. I do just want to say we've had the audio's been a little in and out for us. So, Eric, it sounds like I can hear you pretty well. So, when we get into comments, we may need to just ask you to repeat things. And with that, I'm going to request to share my screen. We do have a presentation.
It has been allowed.
Okay,
Yeah, neat.
great. You guys see that all right?
Well, you haven't really set up for that, but we'll see if we can do
Oh.
that.
Well, while you're looking into that, I can introduce ourselves. So, thank you for having us here tonight to talk about the Johnson Route 15 sidewalk extension scoping study. I'm Jackie LeBlanc. I'm the project manager with Stantec for this project, and I'll have Madison and Sean introduce themselves.
Hi, my name is Madison Carver. I'm an engineer working on this project.
And I'm Sean Neely, an engineer providing some project support.
Great. So we do have a few slides, but if you're not able to really show those, we'll just be describing them. So we're here today to talk about, to describe the project, talk about what we've learned so far, and then we'll be opening it up for comments. So we'll review the project area, the study purpose, existing conditions, the project development process, next steps, and then we're eager to hear from you. So the project was somebody saying something?
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. The project location is along Route 15 in Johnson, west of Johnson Village. in an area that would connect a neighborhood and skate park to amenities in town and other facilities such as Old Mill Park and the Lamoille Valley Rail Trail. And looking closer at the location, we're specifically studying where a sidewalk could be added between the existing sidewalk terminus and Wescom Road. So that's where the neighborhood and gas station is on the west side of the study area, and then on the east side of this area is where the river constrains where the area is. A purpose and need statement has been drafted to define what the project is trying to achieve and why. This will guide the development of alternatives and how they are evaluated. So I'll read through that now, and there'll be time for comments at the end. So the purpose of this project is to construct improvements for a sidewalk extension along Vermont 15 in the village of Johnson that will support safe and efficient active transportation to residents on the west side of the village. And the needs we've identified for this project are to extend the existing sidewalk westerly along Vermont 15, to improve connectivity and access to community resources, and to provide a comfortable route for pedestrians.
So now,
Screen.
Yep, we got you on screen now. Thank you.
oh, perfect. All right. Are you guys able to see the crashes slide right now?
Yep.
Yes.
Perfect. All right. So now we're just going to cover some existing conditions data. This map shows crashes along the corridor of Vermont Route 15 that runs through our study area. There were a total of 3 crashes that occurred through our study area over the last 5 years. 2 crashes involved personal injury, while 1 involved property damage only. None of the crashes involved pedestrians, cyclists, or heavy trucks. And this table shows annual average daily traffic for the section of Vermont Route 15 that runs through our project area. And if you're not familiar, annual average daily traffic, or AADT, is the average number of vehicles that drive on a section of road each day over an entire year. The AADT for this section of Route 15 is about 8,500 vehicles for 2024. And now we're just gonna go over some site observations that we saw when we were out there. So this slide shows photos from the intersection of Wescom Road, where the proposed sidewalk would end. And as shown in these photos, there's no existing pedestrian facilities at this intersection.
And these photos show, you can see where there's ledge constraints along both sides of the roadway. And these images show the existing pull-off area on the northern side of the road and guardrail on the southern side of the road. These images show stormwater management features and a desire path leading up to, and it actually continues behind the guardrail, showing that people are walking along the southern side of the roadway.
And lastly, these photos show the far end of the project corridor. You can see the end of the existing sidewalk especially in the middle photo here, and how it transitions into a desire path, which, as Jackie said, goes beyond the guardrail seen in this picture.
So this shows the typical project process through VTrans, and we are in the project definition phase. The results will then be used to pursue funding for design and construction. And the project definition phase includes identifying what the problem or need is, developing a purpose and need to define the project goals, and then developing and evaluating alternatives against the purpose and need. And results are then summarized in a final report.
So now we're just going to briefly review some of our next steps. These involve meeting with the project team to finalize our purpose and needs statement in November, and then developing alternatives through December. We will then evaluate these alternatives from January through February and hold an alternatives presentation for the public to attend at some point in the spring. And following that, a recommended solution will be determined in April, and the project concludes with the final report being completed in May. So we now invite you all to share your input and any concerns or thoughts you may have on the project.
Ken Tourangeau, chair of the village. Bill here, the trustees were just having that conversation on the sides. Can you hear me fine?
It's a little muffled.
I'm having a little bit of trouble hearing.
How about now?
It's about the same.
Is any better?
Maybe a little better.
Okay, I'll speak up best I can. So the study for incidents only goes back to 2020. Correct?
What goes back to 2020?
The study of the number count for the accidents that you found on that road during that time only goes to 2020.
Correct, yes.
So we're not 100% sure of the year, but we believe like the year before, or maybe 2 years before that, there was a fatality in that area. And there was also a person hit in the Jolly side of the road in the morning hours when it was dark. So I just wanted to throw that out there. I don't know if the study part of this only can go back 5 years on traffic and injury part.
So
Yeah,
we're
I
able
think
to look at years earlier than 2020. So knowing that, that's definitely helpful information, and we'll be able to go back and take a look at that.
It would be a good thing to look at, because I'm sure Will's on the fire department and I'm sure both of us are forgetting one or two. It's a very bad area. This is why we initiated this process.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. We'll look into the data a little farther back.
Ask them, about when they're gonna be looking at the north side or south side, when is that being determined?
That's part of the analysis, the alternatives analysis.
So that's like their stuff.
So the question is, when are you gonna be looking at the different options and comparing them?
Yeah, so that will be the next phase that we'll start to dive into after this meeting, where we sort of finalize the input process and finalize the purpose and need statement. We'll then move into developing solutions and then evaluating them.
Is there any record of the last time they did the study for over there? That we, it was just, I know Duncan had mentioned it in the past. So I just didn't know if we haven't have any record on that at my house. This is the sidewalk side. It's been 25 years, I guess.
Probably when the Main Street project was done.
That when it was. Yeah.
So I'm hearing there was a study for a sidewalk in this area maybe about 25 years ago.
Between 10 and 15.
Between 10 and 15, there was a study, it had to do with the whole Main Street project and a new water line and such.
Which is also the extension of the.
They extend the sidewalk. So yeah, that was 20 years ago, it's 2005.
Okay. Do you think the town would have a copy of that study?
We do. Them.
Whether we have a copy or not is to be determined, because we lost a lot of things in the flood.
Yeah.
Me too. including
I'll reach out to the current main time and see if he could give me any names or agencies that might have dealt with it at the time. That might help. Then something, know somebody else over.
Okay.
These guys stand tech.
No questions, Darrell?
No,
You good? Ellis?
Is it? Probably this is too soon, but is that gonna lower the speed limit through there? Or is that a further down the road question?
That's a state chosen thing.
Yeah, that's a great question. And while I would say it's not determined yet, one thing that can happen by adding a sidewalk is it can change vehicle behavior. So it
Yeah.
could have a calming effect on speeds. So the speed limit could certainly be evaluated separately at a future time.
Okay.
By V-Trans.
Actually, no, very sure. But just having a sidewalk makes a difference here.
Mhm.
Yes and no.
I'm sure it had nothing to do with this, but there was a resident that did ask me about the other way.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
Katie,
Yes.
they reached out to me about at least whatever we could, or sign, even says pedestrian. They wanted me to bring it up, so I just. Yeah, it's on our. Yeah.
I think we looked at that when we did the Main Street project and it was just.
Oh, I understand the bank,
It
but they
was
did ask me
possible
about
to
it.
do, yeah. And it was gonna cost way out of proportions back then.
Yes. Alec, you got anything?
Well, I'm here to help, and if there's more comments, I'm happy to pass it along to Stan Tech as we go.
Maybe you could ask to the office if they remember anything about the tax study for us.
Yep, yeah,
I'm sure you guys would have been involved, probably.
yeah, I'm not sure who on our staff was saying that. Groundwork is,
Fine. Thanks. If, yeah. Yeah, I'm guessing it's gotta be. I'm sure you dealt with flooded areas before when you're doing this, so. I'm pretty sure this entire board has a huge concern with the sidewalk going to the south side, so I would really keep that in your thoughts while you're doing this, because. As soon as it's done, it's gonna get taken out by a flood.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And it's definitely been on our radar and on the site visit and as we've kind of been starting to look ahead to the next phase.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys deal with river dynamics and all that, but that is on the outside bend of that river. Right in the center of the traveled area. And if you're familiar with river dynamics at all, that's the area that gets the hardest hit. Yeah, exactly. The hardest hit with erosion. And I know they got some riprap stuff they can put there, but north side, we don't have to deal with that issue.
Yeah. While we were on our site visit, we did actually we sort of were thinking about as we got into alternatives if we were to explore on the north side where a potential crosswalk might be because it would add two crossings. So we would make sure to continue to sort of look at where the ideal position of a crosswalk would be.
Yeah, we know the state don't like crosswalks too. We understand that. But crosswalks also slow down traffic. So that'd be a good thing to flag for traffic side of it.
Yeah, and I'll add that, during the analysis, we'll be going through evaluation for the placement of crosswalks using the V-Trans guidelines for crosswalk placements, at, what they call mid-block crossings, away from intersections. And so, that could be helpful for supporting that.
Just to be fully transparent, there's a V-Trans staff member that is a part of this project team. That, they're reviewing everything, so. Yeah, they will follow.
And the other reality of the crosswalk is that the thing had to put in two. The reality is that if you're heading to Jowls and the crosswalk is on, you come down to here and Union Bank and it ends. You cross over by the merchants, Unity Bank, and walk down this side and then cross over to the north side. You wouldn't have to cross. You'd have to cross twice, but it wouldn't require putting an additional crosswalk in.
I think they're referring to the Dallas area crosswalk back to.
Oh, I see that, yeah.
Yeah. Having one that would go from over here across, and then back out there, Dallas, yeah. Okay. Right there. Yeah, right there. No, we're thinking the same thing. We've got a lot of old board members here that's been through this process times and a few that's been talking about it for months with Eric ahead of this. So we all have our personal own opinions on it for sure. And they seem to align with not being on the south side. So that's about all I think our main stress point to you all is. And we know that that's all state decided and everything else, but I think that's our biggest concern of our board. Correct? Eric, do you have anything to add to that or?
No, I mean, it's like, it's unfortunate that the south side doesn't work because it's the straightest path.
Yeah.
But it put you right in the apex of that bend. Yep.
Okay, good. Do you have anything else for us?
You guys.
Just, yeah, if there's any additional questions or comments, you can email Eric or myself, or Andy DeForge is the V-Trans project manager. And I didn't know if I was cutting somebody off. It was hard to tell if someone was starting to say anything else.
Nope, you were good.
Do have two members of the public here, so I'll ask you guys if there's anything you want to say, Steve, or?
No, everything I was gonna say, well, a lot of it is about, will be covered later when they get into the. I went down there and looked at it today. It's always been a concern of mine, but I've been here 8 years, so.
This is the local sidewalk walker. He sees some major need in it, right?
Great. Glad you're here to support the study.
Yeah, he is. I don't think our board has anything up there.
Beautiful.
They don't have anything.
Anything from the floor?
That's gonna change river dynamics. And if I go not really there on the south side. When the river change. What's happening now?
My personal opinion, floodplain area, so. They'd have to lower home a lot to affect that, do you agree? So that's just my personal opinion, so I can't see it changing the effect of.
It's only 4.9 feet. That ain't gonna melt up.
Small acreage.
They came in and said that one elevation to the next flood.
Basically a waste of time.
If anything at all, sure won't change that bend of that river. Which is the very major concern for me. Is that if you put it on the south side, that bend is not going to change for anything they drop a few feet.
In addition to what. Things are. It's like the pathways. The study that you guys mentioned about sidewalks with the Main Street project, I just. Wondered whether anything stuff that other people were doing, stuff that happened again.
I didn't read. In the meeting, we were running the funds in that. The water project, water replacement. sewer lines along the area. Hydrants, but
Brick paving.
and it was against the foreman at the time, the manager at the time, and I believe the board at the time to look and put a board sidewalk on the south side. That was the original plan, which we have to be able to get equipment out there to keep the sidewalk clean and stuff there. But I will assure you that Eric will look into more and these people are gonna cover a lot of that area along the valley. Yep.
I just want to, a lot of that was difficult to hear, but from what I could hear, it sounded like it was just a little more discussion about the bend in the river and concerns about the shoreline and concerns of placing a sidewalk on the south side. Was there
Yeah,
anything?
she was concerned with mixing it with other projects and studies and stuff like that also.
Okay.
Not so much concern, but it's pointing out that it's.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And then one of the first that we did, and that was Eric and myself. Then, as much as we could with multiple ongoing projects and past projects. Obviously, like we mentioned, a lot of loss. From
Yeah, I will reach out to Duncan and like I said, try to get some more information about the last study, which would help, so. He might not want to talk. But yeah, I've made notes of your questions and we'll address it going forward. Anything else?
I just want to add that, first time I drove down there just to look at it, and I turned around at Jaws. And that is kind of a blind curve, which the pictures don't really show completely. And, some tractor trailers came by and I didn't have a radar gun, so they seemed like they were going fast to me. Just a blinking light or something there, I guess that's V-Trans's
Would be, yes.
area. That, just for starters, that.
Next, there's a V-Change official working with me. I'm sure there's lots of conversations beyond what we're gonna bring in. And, but that's a good point, Steve, and Eric, can make some, make sure that you bring it up in your next meeting. Cause I'm sure she's having difficulty hearing us all.
Yeah, I heard some of that and I heard a little bit about a blind curb and or curve, and we noticed that in our site observation too, and we did kind of sort of have the sense that there would perhaps be better visibility for pedestrians on the north side. And it's just something we'll continue to evaluate as we move into the next phase. So appreciate that comment being brought up.
Yeah, the comment brought up coming from the west end, coming from Jolly's, it's blind from that direction as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Do you have anything?
Kim, you all set? Have any questions?
Okay, I think we're good, Eric.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Have a
Thank
great
you.
night.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, next on the agenda, members of the public. Welcome.
That's the agenda item to public?
Mhm.
The agenda item is public now? Then I'd like to formally introduce myself to you all that I don't know yet. My name is Diana Osborne, and I show up here and there doing different stuff. I haven't had much involvement with the village in 15, 20 years since I had my job down in the village. But we've been reaching out to anybody and everybody with this reimagined Johnson Recreation Economy Task Force. And we like to think of ourselves as kind of open-minded and interested in hearing from everybody. And I just haven't heard anything back from the village trustees. And so since I was coming to just get more informed about the sidewalk situation, I thought I'd open up the opportunity to get any input that you all might have.
Following. Again, you guys all seem to have meetings when just getting home from work or meeting with customers, straight more work. So that's my reason for not being here. I attended one virtually. You guys are doing a lot of stuff. It really is gonna take what you're doing to get the public to come up with some plans and then come throw out their ideas to us. We don't do a lot of the stuff that you guys are talking about, or electrical power, water, sewer and sidewalk. So,
The bigger should seem to be the sidewalk thing,
yep,
you know, because what we identified as a real need was that. You know, safe pathways for people to get from one part to another, safe ways for people to get from one side of town to the other. And one of the things that's come up as a need is parking. I'm hearing that people with boat trailers and snowmobile trailers, and I haven't heard yet about ATV trailers, but people with trailers especially are looking for parking. And so while it's not recreating directly, you know, we do care about hearing what people's needs are. And we're just a think tank, you know, we're not looking to spend money, we're not looking to bring in money so much as we're looking to get ideas and then connect people with how they can get their problem solved. So if you're aware of something like parking, like, anything that would help steer us, it's not like we're looking for more, because we definitely have a lot of irons in the fire. Things that we're trying to follow up on and needs that we're trying to get done. So it's not like we're desperate for extra work, but we also want to make sure that people get listened to and that we're working in, you know, in the public interest. You know, it's not our business to, you know, tell anyone else what to do or grant any, especially it's going to cost them money. But if there's a problem that exists and we have a group of volunteers in town that are trying to solve it, you know, it seems like we all get together.
I'm open to it. Just like I said, that's what I'm understanding from walking and reading your minutes and stuff and notes is that you guys are still at the stage this big. So the public directs us what to do, just like they do the select board. So if you guys can come to us with one of your plans that you think we can actually be involved with, the relocation of the post office and that kind of stuff doesn't have really anything to do with us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, this sidewalk has been on my radar since I joined this board in 2020. I brought it up to the chair at the time then, and we had a lot of other bigger prize fire. So, I've been pushing the extension there. We have been aware of some comment from Katie Wynn trailer park that people wanting to talk about sidewalk to that end. It's just, that's kind of what my focus has been on, the safety for the sidewalks, walkability, all that stuff. Anybody have anything to add that you guys would like to throw into
And question, Brian, snowmobile trailers and boat trailer, you're saying you're getting feedback from a need for parking for those?
Yeah, there's a couple boat put-ins, and I'm not much of a boater, but this is where I'm learning a lot about things that I need to know more about. But apparently the boat put-ins aren't great. Maybe Kim knows more about this. They're not like there's needs to put in a yeah.
There's access by the covered bridge. Right. I mean, which put-ins are you referring to?
Easy put in anywhere, but the places that we've put in are Union Bank. They've redone Linway Lane, so looks like you could scramble down there. That's gonna be one of my questions. But that I don't know of any of that. That's like that was put in to uses like ballpark to say. And we take some of the buyout land. Couple houses that are gonna be there. That would be a great place. Parking.
Town, downtown. Just don't have anything to do with us. I have found one of the best put-ins is on go past Palm first. And it dead ends out there, but right by the bridge, there is a pull off.
However,
Yeah, yeah. I pulled out and put in there, so that's placed in that. If I'm putting in, I'm putting in behind that.
No, Booms also has, but it's probably also.
Right, but there was a pull off there for access. It's not great access, but. Right, no. Interested concerns and stuff like that. I do agree that the last two houses on the left there would afford you much easier access to the river there. And again, when that buyout, I'm assuming that buyout's gonna happen at some point. When it does.
That kind of town's longer, but as a village and the village having needs, put in is one thing, parking lot, she was talking about parking, just thinking about how often people are using the supermarket for various reasons to park. And I don't know if you have any said these buyouts are town, whatever, but these are the needs of our village residents, and having a parking lot, having a parking place for recreation, having whatever the needs are. Do you have, as a board, any say in what happens to the bottom?
We have no.
We can back it.
We can say check for this, we can report it, but we can't. We have no. We have.
There's a lot of people love to go to where the store was and take their snow machine off and go to the trail and go to the store if there was able to. Same with ATVs, but in this town, it's.
We got a river and.
It's you're not gonna get people.
And I do, as far as parking, we believe that all surfaces has to be permeable, so I do believe that asphalt. As part of the buyout.
You can have gravel parking.
Right, but I'm saying that's as far as like, parking we have right now, that won't exist.
So we'll do that. Eric, put that on your radar next time you're talking with Tom. Just throw out that you have any concerns about that. And if it happens to come that the town would be willing after buyout to have us acquire that, we'd absolutely have this conversation with it, because we want recreation and stuff in this community.
Can they transfer ownership to another municipality?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe if it's in the village and they're okay with it, we can acquire it.
Okay, thought for you though, these buyouts, problems, stuff like that. I think it'd be a great opportunity to do the pollinators campaign, like take the lots and turn it into wildflowers. Easy to maintain, easy on the tax money, and also helps all the pollinators and stuff like that to have, the cost of some wildflower seeds. I think that would be a real benefit to the environment.
And donate trees. I mean, ultimately, the whole reason they're being bought out is for river flooding. So anchor that land with vegetation, trees.
Yeah, I think it'd be a whole lot better than trying to mow a dozen properties and increase spending money when we can actually have an impact that's positive instead of mowed lawns. So I know you can charge for it now.
That. Are others going to get done on Street?
We're looking into it. It's very expensive for us to do it. If you want me to raise the taxes severely, Airbnb. It's one lot, we're gonna get it. Okay. But yeah, we've been working, Alex been working, Eric's been working on, we're looking for grant money to do the entire sidewalk on the south side. And then.
So when there this summer, there are a ton of people walking down School Street going to Beers. So to have that sidewalk extend to Beers, I know you gotta get organized, but there's a lot of people that walk in the road, and people come through that covered bridge. They love to squeal their tires coming through that bridge.
No, it's a lot of noise. It's kids.
Let's put more. That's possible. And you know. Stuff is there. All that stuff, because it's great to have that in the future. But what you may not be aware of, just this one study alone is $22,000, and we're responsible for half of it. It's funny.
Yeah, we got 20%.
Right.
You gotta have them.
So it's more than that.
Yeah, it's 50, it's 50%. There's $50,000 and we're paying 20%.
That's just, that's just, you gotta think about that, because then I have to recoup the fast funds to do that stuff. So we're only trying, for sidewalks, like, trying to get grants, we need to grow the fund.
And it takes money to get grant money. So this study is a gateway to V-Trans grant money.
But it does not take long for that. And so at least every other year, or even every year.
First hard fall.
Exactly. And what that does is it repeats all.
Except mowing it weekly and.
Yeah, don't do that.
That's.
You want to do it once a year, you want to do it all.
Yeah,
And
well, when the town rents their machine, it's not up, but it's just me saying I think that's personally the idea that people can go to town and say, hey, Southern pollinator, of course, all once a year. But when they do the roadside mowing, they could do for every lot in the village and hey. Still not done. I've complained with their partners too.
Anything else? I'm not trying to.
You're just.
Appreciate your comment. Steve, thank you for doing it. Absolutely.
Good seeing everybody.
The man.
Too, thank you.
Oh, come on, we can hang out. Steve.
Yeah, what's yours?
Ken, do you need Rosemary?
I was just gonna look.
No, she needs these though.
She says.
So she can hide them away so they don't disappear.
Nope, break your all set if you want to.
Oh, God, that freaking woman, I see her and can't think of her name. In that company
I don't know what's company.
that did the Main Street project.
Oh, I don't know.
I hated that one.
Really?
Still don't have it. Bricks to fall from new roads, but we've already had to do that.
I need that.
Here. Yep. All right, village manager report. Water and light garage update. The new water. Good night. Yep. Good night. The new water and light garage is going up fast. Steel is here. It's being erected at a very quick pace. Basically, there's a full skeleton there right now. You know, the main bones are erected. So it's going along. CR 4810 FEMA utility pole project update. Engineering firm has returned an initial options analysis, and we have responded with our input on the pluses and minuses of each option. They will refine it, and we can bring the project plan to FEMA for approval and realignment of the project. DR 4720 FEMA wastewater treatment project update. Alderson Elliott's is very near having a product for the CRC to review and finish our 428 process. Region 1 has assured us that once those are filed, the 428 valuation process will be fast-tracked. AMI/El Dorado update. As most are aware of, the PUC has made AMI metering mandatory for Vermont utilities. To that end, the VIPSA utilities secured a 50% grant to defray the cost of implementation. That grant requires the meters to be installed by the end of 2026. Due to restricted resources, I've positioned Johnson Water and Light at the end of the line to be the final VIPSA utility to bring AMI online. Working with Alan Stamp, the engineer contracted to coordinate the meter implementation. Jackie Limmerhurt is a consultant hired to coordinate the training and implementation of the CIS software, and Gretchen, the lead process engineer, El Dorado. We are backwards planning the El Dorado setup based on the October 31st, 2026 goal of having the AIMI system online. We're having monthly update meetings and we'll have a draft timeline hammered out soon. Currently, AMI is going through some hurdles getting set up for SolarNet metering in Jacksonville and the overall implementation in Orleans. We're letting those processes play out before we get going on implementation, as we benefit from the other utilities working out the kinks first. We have several training opportunities coming up for both the DCU AR metering install side, which is the crew side, and the admin account setup side for in the office. We've also agreed it would be useful to send personnel to train over the shoulders of Orleans and or Barton when that time comes. As the implementation timeline draws near, I'll work with VIPS on bringing in temporary technical support staff to assist with the transition to the new CIS software. Water treatment facility generator update. Hold on. It was labeled wrong. Okay, that was labeled wrong. That's next. So back in 21, when the previous administration began working on the KD1 pump station upgrade, a search grant was awarded to pay for the preliminary engineering review. Assumedly because they decided not to go with the recommendations in the PER, the grant paperwork was never finished up back then, and the grant money never awarded. I recently became aware of this oversight, got the process going to close it out ahead of the deadline. With great assistance from Rosemary, we were able to satisfy the grant requirements with payment records, etc. from back then. And the state cuts a check for the full reimbursement amount of $15,157.44.
Actually, I'm the one that got it. That's a good job. How's that?
The skirt tier 2 part 2 grant application period just opened. This is a program I was waiting on to pay for the propane tank installation for the new water treatment facility generator that will be bought with the original skirt tier 2 grant. I discussed this in person with Ken Linge at the Vermont Bond Bank last week, and they're eagerly waiting an application and indicated that we are very likely to be awarded the funding. So, thanks, sir. Rankins.
So I have a question about the overall.
Yes, sir.
Why are we not? If the deadline is on the 26th or 2026, why would we want to wait till the end? And then when it's restricted,
they've been
restricted amount, because I was in on that meeting. The concern is getting all the meters on. So when we can't get our meters, and we're gonna be the only ones losing out on 50%.
No, we'll have our meters. We're just being towards
in that meeting with you, don't forget. They were worried about getting the meter to beat this time.
Our DCUs are already on order.
Yeah, but they were still worried about getting the meters for everybody to complete.
And our meter order is not just us. It's with the whole, order comes in with the whole second wave. And they'll be waiting for us to implement. So we're not like solo the last getting meters. We're part of the second half getting meters.
So we're gonna have the El Dorado, the antennas and everything all set up by October 31st, 2026.
Yes.
Here.
We already have the DCU sites all scoped out. They've run through them with Nate, done the secondary checks on the cell signal and all that stuff.
I'm not happy about the last.
Okay.
Because I was in that meeting, I heard the complicated story about how it was gonna turn out.
The
biggest fears were not getting meters completed in time for everybody to have them. And that's just like Johnson's luck, as it has been with electrical department for the last 10 years. Is turn around and be missing out on 50% grant.
Our supplies get here the same as half of VIPSA. We're not last
unless that's changed.
They're all ordered in bulk. ordered in bulk, so
We're the equipment.
we're last in the equipment, like I said, the meters and the DCUs and all that stuff were all coming as bulk order for VIPSA.
Right.
It's in order on the setup, because there's only so many personnel at these companies, especially El Dorado, to set up, they can't set up multiple accounts at a time.
I understand. I'm just saying.
And that's where that's where we're positioned last, not on supplies, but on setup.
Yeah.
And that's in order to,
We're falling in bulk, we're falling in batch.
right, well,
Because they couldn't
the early
follow
batch
up.
and the late batch, they were it's small bulk. Small bulk, the early batch and the late batch, and
I
we're
have
in
a
the,
lot of concerns about it, and I'm just putting that out there, because last time we did this, we lost out on the grant that paid for 95% of this. Hate to see this happen once again,
right,
because we do not have the money.
right,
So,
not bad, right. And we're saying, we're just last in line for setup, and that's turning out to be very good, because they're having a lot of growing pains on setup. And the pains are all very similar between the utilities.
So, I mean, being last doesn't mean that we're gonna wait till the last day.
No.
I mean,
Oh, no.
implementation will be far enough in advance to be able to get.
Correct.
Okay.
well, the 50% grant says it has to all be completed and operating by 12/31/2026.
Or at least has to be bought. I'm not sure the exact wording,
What's-
but
What's the benefit of this?
I mean,
it gives you the
I mean, I
ability
was
to,
bored when we switched over our meters from antique to.
some people
New
enjoy,
Day.
some people
Current.
enjoy being able to look at their usage online and
Oh,
do all that stuff.
technology.
But the real thing is, we're being forced.
Yeah.
It's not optional.
Okay.
I just don't understand how there would be so many problems when co-op's been doing this for 8 years now.
Because they use
They're
really
using a
big,
radio controlled drive-by reader reading system, and it's
Mhm.
exactly what we're using. It's just.
they're
Different companies.
their CIS softwares are massive and expensive.
So is that's so we're massive and expensive.
Oh.
Not even close. Not even close. The difference. Yes. So we have us and the smallest VEPSA communities have different CIS software than the bigger ones, because they can afford more. And that's, even theirs is smaller than what co-op and GMP uses. You know, their softwares are massive packages that do phenomenal, just a lot of stuff.
Short answer is we got forced to do.
Mhm.
Is either do it now and get reimbursed for a portion of it, or do it later, because we'll have to once pay the full fucking.
Yeah, this all started in. Here.
Alright.
Okay, so the $15,000 that we got from the grant, as I said, when do we get that funded and where is it going?
It went into water revenue, because it's what it's for.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is just electric, right?
The meters are electric.
There's electric and water.
There will be water.
Yeah, electric and water.
So, El Dorado, okay, so with us being joint with the town using network, we're gonna be using El Dorado. Do we have a third party, if we stay connected to the town within all the stuff? Do we have a third party software that can combine those two to work with each other, or it's a standalone?
They're gonna be different, and there's gonna be a little bit of, I mean, most of the stuff is gonna come over from NIMRIC. There's gonna be the general ledger is like the only thing that'll stay NIMRIC.
Yeah, and like when we're doing the joint right now, Marla and us, we're pretty safe. But if we have the town girl doing some of our stuff, their system doesn't speak to our system, so I didn't know.
Right.
Yeah, so but that's what I'm saying, they're gonna be doing. But that's what I'm saying, is there a third party software that?
Not that we know of yet. Yeah, no. It's not, it's definitely not perfect, but.
I mean, it's good, it's fine for us because we got people to do some of our work. And they don't have that.
Right.
Do we know if they're coming up with anything? Are you thinking about it or no?
No.
Just keep thinking.
Nimric as a company doesn't even really like working with utilities. So they have no,
It's really nothing.
they've got no incentive to play.
I mean,
They're a hell of a mayor.
Yeah. They're
Wastewater.
four. Operational status wastewater plant callouts, ED Mars WR 43 were submitted to the state. We hauled 68,000 gallons of sludge to Morrisville for processing in September. Monthly composite testing was completed. Had an alarm for plug siphon on Main Street, called Menasha Jedit. Nate assisted with lifting the cover, turned out to be rags. Low flows possibly contributing factor to build up. Also some tree roots possibly got by when the plug was opened by degraded school last month. Alarm float was reset. Mowed and trimmed all pump stations and plants as needed. Thad Ligamores with the State of Vermont Flood Recovery Team and Vermont Emergency Management came and met with us, gathering information on the building and taking measurements for the ongoing FEMA claim for the village. Main Cal performed the annual calibration and certification for all of our lab equipment. Operational status and call out and water plant callouts. Monthly reports were submitted to the state. Coliform samples were negative. Lucas has been working on hydrant painting, is 98% complete. The few far outlying ones, they'll be finished in October. Lucas assisted Nate with issues on Cabin Cove Lane. Customer complained of strong bleach smell and indicated may be affected by some of their clothes washing machine. Free chlorine sample came back with a normal range. Appeared the problem might have been heavy bleach use in the wash machine from the cleaners. Also noted it was an Airbnb with cleaning crew hired by the owner. State of Vermont came and did a sanitary survey. Dan and Tim walked through the survey with Matthew Caldwell. No deficiencies were found, but under advisement from the state, we are now signing up for cybersecurity Zoom to assess the vulnerability of the village's water system. Add a gallon of coolant to the water plant generator. Takes about a gallon a month while we wait for funding for the new one. A couple dropped communication alarms from Mission. They're working on things on their end. None had to be responded to. Tim has been working on painting the exterior of meter houses 1 and 3 in Katie Wynn Mobile Home Park. Tim feels this will get the buildings through 2 to 3 more years. Suggests within 3 years, maybe put in the budget, have them vinyl sided. Water loss for September was 9%. Water and light report. Electric department, Hyde Park mutual aid, 16 hours broken pole on Grimes Road, and bad service at the Opera House. Build out.
Have we been paid up to date with from Hyde Park?
Mostly, I don't know if the very latest bills are paid or not.
So I would just check in on
Yep.
Rosemary. And thinking long and hard before you send them out.
Yep, I've already discussed that with Nate, that he's only going when their lights are off. And if they don't stay up to date on bills, we won't be doing that either. Yep.
So they're about payment history.
No, but Hyde Park's going through some stuff right now.
I understand that, but it's, the only thing I'm concerned about is reimbursement, so
Right.
has it been?
It's been good so far.
There was a stretch where there was over a month and a half that they did that.
Right, and
That's a
we
long time.
we got on their butt and they have been decent since.
Okay.
So. Outage for St. John's Knoll for transferring lines to new poles, 2.5 hours for 21 customers. We installed service to 320 Sinclair Road. Installed cover up at 441 Clay Hill and Katie Wynn Pump House 3. Installed new panel for just Johnson Farm and Yard Regulator, having problems with programming it, working with the manufacturer. Control panels on the R2 and R3 breakers at the substation are having programming issues, also working with the manufacturer. Brush hogging and trimming of the power lines, connected up new service at 188 Lower Main East. Installed new transformer at 665 Railroad Street, cut trees at 552 Railroad Street. Completed the line transfers on 100C and turned the job over to cable and telephone.
The control thing,
Yes,
so what's the holdup?
it just the company needs to come in and do the programming because it's above our maintenance level.
Yeah, so it's gonna be done by next month. It's been over a year and a half. We
This
stressed to
is-
you last month, we wanted it done.
Right.
last month. Just putting it back out there.
Yep.
Should have been done a year ago. Let's make sure that them get programmed and we aren't having any issues up there.
Yep. Paved at the oil mills, finished up the job and trued up. Worked on chipper, replacing the alternator and battery. New shop steel and rod, attending meetings for a prep job behind Union Bank, attending meetings for the Jewett property. Attended bi-weekly meetings for the shop, completed monthly metering, high-load check, substation check, and dig safe. Water and sewer, Lucas and Matt did the hydrant flushing and fall pump downs. Paved between the village and town garage where we installed 2 water shutoffs, sewer main blockers and Main Street siphon. General, met with VLCT for village buildings. Replaced a small section of sidewalk on School Street. Changed out banners to the fall banners. Town sidewalk repair completed on Railroad Street, Main Street, and School Street. Prep lower storage building for town to move equipment in. Safety. Send bucket truck and digger truck out for service and inspection. Jeff finished his CDL course online through the state. Sign up for TPR to record driving time so he can take his driving test. Matt went to his apprenticeship class.
What happened with the old bucket truck?
It was sold to, I forget his name now. Mark LaHooyer on the town side.
Oh.
Yep. So.
And we received
13 grand.
immediately put towards the bond for that truck. Is that how we worded that?
I believe so. I'll check with Rosemary.
So we borrowed 200,000. That was bond was.
I want to say it was less than that. 150, I think.
I thought we were gonna ask for 250 and then 200 because we were.
Maybe. I forget.
I'm just trying to get a wrap my head around what that was. Yeah, shoot me an email tomorrow, let me tell you.
Okay.
Yeah, I knew it changed, we got permission for a certain amount and we borrowed less, yeah.
Right.
I don't remember what it was.
Johnson Fire Department. Responded to 9 calls, 6 during the day, 3 at night. Average duration was 101 minutes. They were 2 automatic alarms, 2 wilderness rescue, 3 vehicle crashes, 1 hazmat, and 1 other unpermitted burn that we assisted the fire warden. Average number of firefighters was 11. Total hours of service was 155. We've had discussion about developing procedural guidelines for the village community warning system, warning siren, which includes ideas for quarterly testing and methods by which information can be made available to the public. This has spotlighted the need to clearly identify several topics. First, authority, town emergency management versus fire department command. Distribution of public information after a signal, in my opinion, the most important factor to prevent confusion and ensure the correct emergency statement information is available. There is significant work remaining.
So I told you all I'd talk to Evan about that. We started the conversation, got sidetracked, never finished it. He's on vacation. As soon as he gets back, I'll bring it back up. Do not feel he'll have any issue with sticking with the chair. Generally, the village chair is each of them.
Sure, that everybody has, I think one of the things that you mentioned in that, or was written in the chief's report was to make sure that everybody, that when they hear it, where they can go get clear and precise information, because the audio on that is not great. You know something's going on.
Yep.
I think everybody within range of that has to be aware of where they can go
Is it SHTF or is this just a, you know, be aware thing?
And
So,
yes, he said in there, you know, if he's doing it quarterly, we can coordinate it quarterly with our quarterly reports that go out.
but as far as
the billing,
but as far as like this,
quarterly and say on this day and then blast it.
right. I think you need to have all that stuff. You know, sitting on this side of this thing, I mean, we need to have all that stuff in place and out there. And we also need to be, if you decide to declare an emergency and turn the thing on, whatever we decide, or the Facebook or Tamworth page or, you know, whatever it is, that needs to have that information for that. So,
Yep.
so
Then
Like the
the,
whole process. Starting the last time is that we're gonna work on the permissions. The direction and then the overall application and how it's done. And that would probably, I'd say we'd address the finalized part in the joint meeting. It's like we're controls the emergency management department, right?
Another-
We get all parties to sign on and then it's official on how to proceed and then standards.
I thought BJ was very, I think,
He's
very involved in this process and stuff like that. So I want to make sure that we were all on the same page.
It was one highlighted notes we had, and he gives me every month with it, and I was like.
So-
Push it out.
It's gonna be a process, but
Yep. They're long.
right.
I think the end result.
One thing you know, when you get down to the nitty gritty, it's like, how are people gonna get the information they need when they hear it? With a lack of electricity and internet.
Yeah.
That's, you know, another thing, 'cause that's not a given.
It's the only way I could see it being used and used is maybe like last time. Nine to the same 25 cars.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, and that, or the dam broke at Green River Reservoir, black flood, you know what I mean? That's when that type of thing is probably
Right.
going to be used.
Right.
But you're right, in the testing part, it has to be known, when you hear this, you can go to this, and the information will automatically be there by the time that alarm.
And that's where
They know.
when we do our quarterly mails, when we send them out, and there it does it right up.
And I think if you guys bring that together, whoever's putting it together, is that not only about where the resources are, but also who not to call. Do not call 911. Do not call the fire station. That's time of resources that
Right.
really can't be, if thing's run off, we can't be having resources tied up.
But as we know, they're gonna buy you.
Well,
Right. There you go.
We stop 90% of
Yeah.
that. That's part of that information packet that I think is crucial to get out there. You know, we don't want to overwork Memorial. And we sure as hell don't want our lines tied up there.
Everyone looks ahead and full fucking mind usually think they're not all 911.
Well, that's what the training, that's where the testing comes in and the training and.
The biggest thing is that it's not a megaphone, it's not gonna hear what they're trying to tell you.
You can't hear.
The biggest thing,
We hear it good.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I know.
You have to be far enough away to hear it.
You're that prone. Now, you know technology, you might know about.
Close and fire, you can't hear it, you can adjust it to the length you want, but you'll always have after and before it, it'll be a month.
The biggest thing, a lot of people haven't heard. You know, we gotta get them back used to what that noise is, so they know there's a warning.
Maybe so.
You're gonna have to get Dave on there.
We'll pre-record his voice and just send it out each time. This is a test. This is.
Don't put that.
BJ, oh, wait, hang on.
Yeah. What?
So the Will County Planners Commission, Steve decided he was gonna stay on for a year.
Yes.
And, BJ, you wanted those.
The what?
Village personnel policy.
Okay, while you're going there, the town did had a meeting and they discussed going with their own personal policy.
Mhm.
I know we were discussing it at one point in time because we wanted to upgrade it and get it all up to date. Now I think it'd be good to have you move forward with it, even if we take the bulk of what we have now and just turn it, instead of having it village and town village.
Mhm.
And then making it customized and updated towards us.
Have they moved to do it, or was it just a discussion?
They voted on it during their meeting.
So
I don't know what Tom had specifically done yet or anything. I don't know none of that, but I do know it was brought up and it was voted.
So their vote was to move forward with it.
Yeah, doing their own policy.
So what was the rest of the board, we all just, if we move forward to do, it's pretty simple, it's just basically removing the verbiage of the town. Because
They updated it.
I'll clean it up some.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because right now, like the village holidays is an addendum,
Yeah.
stuff like that. All that stuff in the harassment policy is separate. It can be part of the policy.
Yeah, just making it cleaner because they also went and now they have the same policy.
They do.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
they voted on
the office girl ladies were.
So
which is kind of weird because now they have the same as everything, but.
Right. Right.
So I would suggest Eric come up with a version present and his options.
Okay.
Correcting language, changing language to modern terms. Yeah. Agree with there. Alice? We need a motion, so just
Do it. Yep.
I would say don't come back with one,
Okay.
come back with at least two. Something that is
Okay.
fine lining, a lot of the wording in there was sloppy.
Right.
I'd
Yeah.
say if he cleans it up, if he does too, you know, like, I mean, I would say do one cleanup thing and then present that to us in the before a meeting, so we have time to prove
Right.
it. You know, and then we can look at that, and then we can pick that apart for all trying to, well, I don't know, I mean, you're gonna share what you want.
No. Then with one thing, we only think of one option, so.
Well,
Oh, I understand.
so I was,
You didn't get your read packet till today.
No, you got the meat of it last week.
Yeah, I read it.
We got some
Some of it.
but say, whatever, something like that, we said to digest.
yeah,
One,
no,
something.
it's not up to the next meeting, we need it to have a, you know, a while. But I don't know, I don't think the throw an extra thing on the plate, I'm just gonna tear both of them apart anyway, or we can just pass them without, so. But you probably know where that, what his available timeline is, and I do, so. They. You all want to do.
I think cleaning it up and then having something else is fine, it just. But I would like to have some time to read. I mean,
Absolutely.
like it in the packet today. I didn't have time to really.
No. No, I said
Do anything with it,
the minutes and the sidewalk stuff came Friday,
Right.
but you know, I didn't have the chief report until yesterday afternoon.
I don't need to.
Huh?
I don't see where having a second thing to look at is a bad thing.
They pretty much don't care, I can hear one paragraph below it. So my suggestion is, look at it, if you think it just needs some rewording, cleaning up.
Mhm.
Use your better judgment, show up at one, if you think
Okay.
you can come up with a better version that
Mhm.
stresses modern times. We
Okay.
do.
Okay. Yep.
Um,
Yeah, I'll probably do one.
Send out an email from the board, their opinion, separately, certain matters. that-
This has been going on for years.
It has, and
And
it,
it needs to stop
then,
somewhere. Right now,
but if they're creating their own policy, we
I
get
know.
one that.
Well, they're doing a whole study of
They're
what
putting
all of their people do and everything.
They could be just looking at things differently. BJ, you had.
Yes, so looking back, there was a time that. The storage shed has our files and everything, we're paying. Did we get all that back or are we still paying? Cause I could not find anything after that.
Storage shed had our files or a place to restore
Store them and all that.
them? Well, I thought someplace got them to be restored. Or,
In that meeting, it just said that they had our stuff and then Rosemary was gonna talk to them about getting them back, so we weren't still paying them.
Eric, follow through on that one, cause I have no clue on
Bat phone. In our meeting, we talked about, stopping our end just because of the bill. Talk to the bill, or talk to the town if they wanted to continue paying 100%. I just wanna know where that went, did we stop paying?
I thought we 50/50 and.
No, during the meeting, we were talking about no longer going with that, because if we wanted to have a phone, we could do a prepaid or something to where we could just have minutes on it, since it's just sitting there instead of $70-80 a month. And it was talked, unless the town wanted to keep it going and pay the 100%. And you were gonna talk to Tom on that. The phone that you had. Yeah.
Probably go phone, I thought. My memory was that we were splitting it up.
We were normally.
No, we were paying the phone, we said we were gonna shut it off if they didn't wanna split the bill, and I thought.
Okay, I'm already.
Well, I think at that meeting, me and Evan both said we're not sending the town's phone to my personal phone or his personal.
Well, what about,
Yeah, so
Well,
I didn't wanna do that.
well, unless it's why instead of paying the $70 a month, which is just on us, why not put 100 minutes on it that stays on there all year?
That's a different plan.
We can get it, I mean, those phones are dirt cheap now.
Correct, but if you're gonna do that, then we can, then self the village off here.
Why can't we put it on that during emergency?
Cause you're just gonna have it sitting there. And I don't know, like I said, when you gotta buy a new phone to do that.
Which they're cheap, those. Even smartphones are prepaid, they're dirt cheap right now.
Yeah. I would start with verifying if they were gonna pay half, because I believe that was the motion and we agreed in the joint.
Okay, so just check.
I could be wrong.
I don't want to pay half.
We'll just turn it off and.
Yeah.
Well,
I think they did,
that was the main thing, we kept it going. We used it during the flood and it was nice to have a phone, so it's my fault.
So if they did say they would, just check to confirm that they are paid. And we're one.
Yep. Yep.
And then. Website, so unfortunately. The minutes were never transferred over our old minutes to our new website. Once the town's website. Was gone, our minutes was gone. Our employees have no way to get it. I think the only way. Is somebody may have access to the old minutes.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Copies of them on my computer.
Can we have her, would have to vote on paying her to implement old minutes into our system because we don't have access to them. Anywhere. Or better keep. That's up to you guys.
That's why I hate that we do state requirement.
Whatever the state says, go back that far and then, because I know we went back in our minute. A lot before to look up stuff and I just would hate to have that lost.
Donna, could you, just so we can keep moving it down the road, could you come up with a price and get the whole Eric, or do you think it would cost for you to upload it? You don't have to do it now, but.
Yeah, it probably. Uploading is a pretty quick process, but I'll figure it out a little bit. Well, how far back, far back as I have?
Eric looked into what the state requirement, I say if you just go with what the state requirement. It's gotta be, they make me keep records for 70, so I hope to hell they make municipalities keep stuff. You know what I mean? I don't think we need, if you have them going back to 2002, I don't think we really need that many.
Just reach out, let her know how far back.
Yep.
Yeah, whatever the state requirement must be, would be more good. And I'll add that.
Okay.
Okay, I think that was it on the agenda.
One thing, we won't wait till it's too late to talk about, that's fine.
It's not too late, you can add it, but I would suggest going forward that you.
Yeah, no, that's fine, we'll talk about it on some.
No, you can do it.
It's merely a question, because it hasn't been done, it hadn't been done before I was on board, I haven't heard about it. But I keep hearing that the village is going to take ownership of all the water, the sewer, and electrical lines in the industrial park, listening to the minutes of the other meeting. Why would we want that even in our ballpark of having to pay for some rates?
For that meeting. Definitely. We do not take responsibility.
Mhm.
We can take ownership up to our shut offs and whatnot.
Yep.
There's probably gonna be one or two pieces we would have to where the transformers are and the boxes going up through.
Yep.
Mhm.
So that's.
Okay, I was just curious on why is the board we would put that on taxpayers if 5 years from now there was a sewer break and the line's 15 feet deep and our guys are working, why we would even want
I
that?
would agree with you 100%, because Will and BJ stuff is.
Right,
Mhm.
that's what I mean, I would think we would want to do the shut off, but not to.
And that would be the case. The services would definitely be private. So the mains, generally what happens with the main is if the municipality adopts the road, it becomes a public road. And it was put in to specs, then you take over the water and sewer mains.
But, so my question.
But not the service, but not the services.
If. Why would the village want to have responsibility for those items?
There could be a couple reasons it would add to the asset value. Water treatment. And stuff like that, but we do not have to take them over if that's your question.
That would be a vote that we have, we would make, that would be just something to do that.
And
if
I agree on that.
Yeah.
Once you stop in your services at the entrance of the property, I don't agree with taking over even the mains up through there. You know, thing is, I'm thinking that probably neither one of us will ever see that, so.
And we might not, but it something happened and they, we're still around at that time. I definitely, I want to make sure that's a bold thing.
The only ones that would do that would willingly take over. Because we. Boxes up.
And I can see that, fine, that makes sense, like the power, I can understand that, it's all the other stuff that's deep, that's.
But if they had a water problem, we get called, and even if we didn't own it, we could turn off their shut off the main trunk.
Yeah.
It'd be like a curb stop.
I'm just.
But yes, I think I talked to you about that before. It's just down the road.
Yeah.
We can make a decision on. Anything else? Anybody going on, those guys?
I move to the enter executive session as allowed by 1 DSA section 313